Hi and welcome back. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, as I said, I'm gonna have to do these turbines at the front. Sorry about this, I've got show save frame on. So, select this and hide unselected. And in here, I'm just going to ungroup this. Hide unselected. And what I need to do is make a rotor shape. So just go in here. I'm going to hold shift and just drag this forward a bit and just clone it to an object called R blades, so I know what they are. Now if I take my R blades and then do a effect pivot only centered object. Now what I want to do next is select by edge. I'm going to select this one, I'm going to ring them, do a small chamfer which I'm going to open like this, and click OK. Now I'm going to select every alternate one of these, like this. Just go all the way around. Okay, and zoom. Now we'll pull these back just a little bit like that. Next, I'm going to select the alternate sides of these. Just go all the way around again. And holding down shift, I'm going to drag it back a little bit like that. Not a huge amount. Now for each of these, I don't need to do the back piece, so I'm going to go and select these again. Go all the way down. Okay, and then a quick chamfer. Don't open the chamfer this time. And click OK. So you can see now that we've got these in place. Now if you want to make a double layer of these, you can. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So I'm going to bring this one forward a bit just for the moment, and then drag just a little way back this one just to make a copy. Now I'm going to rotate it 10 degrees. Now if I attach these together, just F4 so I can make sure I'm doing it right. Bring it back to about there. Now unhide all, and I want to go into the correct viewport. And do a shift and drag. There we go. We'll just ungroup this. And then attach, oops a daisy, close it off. Just attach that on. And then again the same here. Okay, that sorts out our first problem, which was the rotors. Zoom out a bit. Now we also have a problem in that we have some unassigned bolts. And I suspect, yeah, there they are. Just haven't been attached, unfortunately. I'm not building this as a single model, so what I'll do is hide unselected, select this and attach everything. Wait a moment while it catches up. There we go. Unhide all. And again, check that piece of floor. I only put the floor in, by the way, whilst I wasn't recording, simply to make my render look a little bit better so I could see what I was doing. Hide selection. Hide selection. Okay, have a quick look over here. Yeah, I didn't attach these ones either. There we go. Nice. Okay. Now for the underside of this, if I just take this away, we need our kind of crash feet that is going to come on. So, a little stretch and a bend. Right, what I'm going to do is design these kind of landing feet. They're small. As I say, their main purpose is just to kind of crash onto, you know. So, look at the rough shape I need here. Down here. I'm going to create these off-grid. I just need a box like that, because that's the size of one of the feet. Rotatable poly. I'm just going to apply our basic material to this, just to change its colour as much as anything. I'm going to select this and that and hide everything else. Makes it a little bit easier for me. I mean, I know there's still some rather heavy poly manipulation in here, but okay. It's even on this piece. Now the edges here, which I'm going to go around, I'm going to change the shape a bit, so I need to do a ring, and then a chamfer, which will get me this shape here. Next I'm going to go all the way down the middle, and I'm going to do a chamfer again. Open it. How am I not chamfer connect? Silly me. In the chamfer. There we are. That opens it into these two parts here, which I can then cap. See? Okay, next. Just going to grow this out. Control select by. Notice I didn't delete the other poly there, because that would have been pointless. Now quick chamfer, not open this time. Okay. Right. Now we're going to build a kind of thing that connects them all together here. So I need a cylinder, and just want to kind of get this in the right position. So about here. Move that to about there. Rotatable poly, and then rotate it over using angle snap, 90 degrees. Move it about. Till I get to about here. Okay, the idea being that I want this to look like it's a lot more manoeuvrable and flexible than it really is, because it isn't in the slightest. Okay, and check my top viewport and zoom on it. Make sure this is pretty much central. There we go. Next, convert to Apple Poly, and I'm going to attach it to the feet as well. I'm also going to give this a name, foot 1, or landing foot 1. Okay, grab this side and this side. I'm just going to bevel these down a little bit. To about here. There's a reason, by the way. A little bit less of a bevel there, I think. There we are. And just check this. Okay. Okay, looking at this shape now, these end pieces connect to this, you see. So what I'm going to do is use a cut, and here all the way down to here, flip it, and do it again, like that. Now this looks like they could fold away, but I'm not going to make them fold away, just in case you're wondering. Simply because, you know, I don't want to. This is basically modelled in its pose that I'm going to be using, though if you want to, or if you have time, please feel free. It's not particularly difficult. You just would have to break these up as separate objects. Okay, one connect there, go to my top viewport. Now I'm going to do a chamfer. Like so. Then I'm going to do a second chamfer. Like that. Go back into perspective. Okay, now I'm going to do another connect. And another chamfer. And just looking at this, I'm going to do 3, so connect again, here and here, two edges, bridge. That looks a little bit twisted. Just click out and check. That is a little bit twisted. Change this to F3 so I can see how twisted it is. Oops, wrong one. There we are, just use the twist control there. And again, 1, 2, 3. Over here. Okay. Again. and just bridge that, or not, because I had the wrong one selected. There we are. And just do -1 twist, just try and get this to work, +1, there we are. Okay, so now we've got these ones kind of locked into place the way I want them, so it's going to be a case of chamfering them, obviously, and get rid of the excess lines we don't want. So just press backspace. Okay, go over here. I'm going to go around this piece now. Build my chamfered area. Use my select tool rather than select and move. There we are. And again over here. Be careful. There's a lot of tricky selection doing this bit. Also be aware that we're not designing this for comfort. If you want to put springs in, feel free, but I'm not going to. Okay, chamfer this side. Kind of happy medium, I think 0.04. Click OK. I'll apply some rivets to this depending on how big my rivets are. Seems pretty pointless though. We're looking at welds really more than anything here. Probably, if we think about it, this is one of the more expensive parts of the vehicle. There we go. Now select down here. Now chamfer. Turn that off. And let's check our model over again. Okay, so our landing foot here looks okay. Next, there's F4. We're going to build a kind of cap to go over the top, more or less. Quite a cunning piece, this one. So what I'm going to do is select here. Good thing about this is it allows us to make a little bit of variation. We're building a kind of shoe that will go onto it. So I'm going to detach this part as a clone. Sorry, as a cloned element. Now if I select it and flip it, grab the edges of it, and hold down Shift and just drag it up like this. And of course I can just flatten this down. There we are. Go over here, hold down Shift and just drag it out like that, and then like this. Up and cap. Okay, that gives us this piece here. I'm going to move this up a little bit for the time being. I can drop it back down again in a few minutes. I just want to be able to zoom around and do some chamfering on it. This is pretty much a case of chamfering everything, except for the inside lines that make up the curve on this. And of course those useless lines there, they're just radial. And yes, we can get rid of those if you want. No, I'm not going to. Just going and selecting all these there. We can use our chamfer tool to make sure we've selected all the right ones. I'm just going to over chamfer briefly. Find it a lot easier, especially if your eyes are getting a bit tired. There we go. Right, now I'm just going to bring these down again. Like that. And turn that part off for the moment. Now we can sync these back together again. Drops on like a cap. What's the good thing about that chamfering we just did now is, if we go to perspective and zoom, we have the gap between the pieces. If you want to be extra clever, you could stick some pistons down the side there, or whatever else you want. Alright, let's take our first one, go to our front view, which is actually our back view, of course. See where it goes. Perspective. Okay, that's good. Now go to the back here. Just do a shift and drag. Drag this one over to here. Let's find a good point of reference for it, probably about there. If you look, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of lining it up against this panel, and then I'll do a shift and drag and line it up against this panel as well. It gives us our landing feet. Zoom back out. Unhide all. See, that wasn't too harrowing, was it? Only took us 25 minutes to do this piece. Now, I'm just going to add these on, because I'm not going to animate them, and that way they won't drop off or do anything silly when I move it around. There we go. Now, up top here. Is there any more detail that I really feel like adding? The only piece that doesn't have anything that might benefit, really, in my opinion, is probably this bit here. Which could probably do with some sort of a grill or something like that, just to break up the shape. I was going to add extra things to the top, like aerials and radar dishes, but that isn't kind of keeping in line with our whole throwaway mentality for this ship. So if I was to inset this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this first. So detach, Just wait for autosave first. And we're going to detach it as a clone, and we're going to call this a vent. There we go. Now I'm going to select my vent. Hide unselected. Zoom in on it. Effect pivot only, sensitive object. Effect pivot only off. Do an inset. Control I, delete. There we go, get rid of that. So you know this is going to fit because it's just a clone, which is why I've done it this way. Okay, inset here. No, another bevel. No, not a bevel. And extrude down. Just a little one. Okay. Now we can tessellate this a few times if you want to. You can also use tessellate by edge, which obviously creates different patterns. What we're looking at here is just creating a kind of grid pattern for our venting. I just select here and here, control select by vertex, and connect. You can also do it this way, but oopsie daisy. What we have to do is just find a way really of kind of getting lines across here that we need. So the easiest way of doing this is probably going to be doing a standard tessellate, not that kind. Edge tessellate. Do it a few times until we get to about there. Now inside here we have it all selected. So I'll just go back to where it was when it was all selected. Tessellate. I'm going to shrink it. That way we don't have the edges here. Control select by vertex. Now I'm going to chamfer them, which makes these diamond shapes here, you see. Now it's warped at the edges, which I don't want, but I can fix that. So firstly we'll just do a quick weld, and that will weld all these together. Next, at the edges here, I'm going to select all these. Just bring them in. Same goes along the top. Now remember, this is at a slight angle, so it's going to be very easy to accidentally make a mistake without realising it. So be very careful how we do this part. Just want to line this part up like that. Same again up here. And bring it in. And along the bottom, scale's only a tiny bit out there, so turn a bit in, there we go. Now select by polygon, and I'm going to click grow, shrink that down again, and then select these corner ones, and if I just use my all-purpose scale tool, I'm going to scale these up to here, like that. Okay, that's good. Okay, so with all these selected, do a control select by edge, and create shape from a selection that's linear. Right, there's our linear shape there. Now I'm going to increase the thickness. Like so. I can also increase the size should I want to. I'll reduce the thickness a little bit. Okay. And convert to editable poly. Now then, I quite like that, but it's a little bit too, the holes are a bit big basically for my liking. So what I can do is just kind of half the size of it like so. So I'm going to clone it first. And just kind of attach our two clones together like this. Now I'm just going to move it so it's in the middle of here, and then I'm going to compress it up a bit. I'm just going to effect pivot only, set it to object. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Press H and get our shape. Delete. Oop! I've already deleted the shape. I didn't realise. There we go. Now get this and isolate it briefly. We can get rid of all these bits on the inside here. Let's recap it again. X isolation mode. Now then over here, make a cylinder. It's a small one. Have it come out of here. Convert to editable poly. Hold shift, remember we've done this before. Just clone it to an element. Now I can use hinge from edge. Pick my hinge, it's going to be this one. And we can have a 180 with 11 segments. Okay, I'm just going to delete that. Actually no, I'm going to bevel it first. Let's go to a very small height and reduce the outline amount considerably. Click OK. Now down here, I'm just going to make a shape from this, and we don't have the right shape anymore, so I'll have to change this. Let's just go to shape 2, which is shape 1, which is this one. Change our thickness right down, sides to 4, and convert it to editable poly. Wait a minute. Right, there we go. Don't be fooled by the size I'm using, by the way. I will be scaling this down even more. I only want small vents, but I wanted them at the correct angle. Okay, to there. Top viewport, zoom. And again. Now I'm going to copy this. Over to here. Get it in the right position. Reset. Such an amusing looking shape when you do that. Control A and flip. Right, now I'm going to attach these two things together. So attach this to this. Slip by poly here and here. And we're just going to bridge it. Okay, now make a copy. Just there. And then make another copy. Down here. Right. Now we can add all this together. Go on the outside of this, do some chamfering. Not forgetting to do the corners. I can't even see the inside corners. I'm not going to fish around looking for them at the moment. There we are. And just a quick chamfer. Okay. Excellent. Unhide all. So now we've got this yonkin great big grid at the back here. But of course the good thing is, like I say, we can scale it down. Need to attach it all together first, of course. Something I forgot. There we go. Unhide all. Or you could just have one great big grid at the back, depending on how you feel about the whole thing, really. There we go, zoom in on it. There. And then just sinking in there. So there you go, you can either have one small one, one big one, two little ones, or four little ones. Personally I prefer the two little ones, or even just the one big one, which I think I'll go with. A bit like a luggage rack, isn't it? Okay, now I can get rid of this. And just check it over. Last time. Notice I haven't done the inner detail. This will be a fun modelling project for you guys. And notice as well the ramp overextends. Something I've noticed since the beginning. Why that is, I'm not exactly sure. Probably design fault on my behalf. Let's check that over. Although it doesn't need to extend fully. I suppose the good idea about a ramp like this is that it can be kind of any way you want it. Pretty much though, I think our modelling section's about over now. Although, as I say, I might come back to this and do the inner detail later. It just depends how I feel. It's been a hell of a modelling project, especially as a free release. I know there's a sponsor member version and probably a DVD download version in the works, just for people on 56k modems. But, blimey. I was going to put more detail on the top, but really I thought that was pretty much gilding the lily. Also, you have the ability to add detail pretty much wherever you want anyway. So, thanks very much for watching this part. Enjoy the appendix, which is going to be about just applying shaders. And until next time, thanks for watching.